Chaden Jay is joining us on the Move Over Mama couches today. Chaden is a young actor who recently starred as Young Elvis in Baz Luhrmann's Academy Award nominated and winning movie Elvis. And he also recently was in a short film called A Beautiful World, which had a lot of success at the Cannes Film Festival. And he's also a young ambassador for the Children's Hospital Foundation. So he is talented and he is kind and he is joining us on the couch, and we've got him before he goes really, really big. Chaden, thank you for joining us.
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here today, so thank you.
Usually mum says like Millie meet Chaden, Chaden meet Millie, but like we've already met each other.
We've known each other for a while now.
We actually have.
And your mother as well, yeah.
But this is probably going to be like the longest time that we actually talk to each other, because it's good like not seeing you on the red carpet and like, you know, I guess like on these red chairs now.
It gets chaotic in those environments.
It really does.
It's just non-stop.
It actually is.
Yeah.
Anyways, you only just turned 18, so like you're an adult now. But what were you like when you were, I guess, early teens?
Early teens, so when I was closer to your age?
Yeah.
Around when I was your age, I'd only just landed Elvis, so that was my kind of experience then. I remember that's kind of when I first started really falling in love with acting, and it really became the passion and obsession of my life. So the only real thing that I remember at your age is the experiences being on set and being like, this is really exciting. Like, I really want to do this with my life. I remember that. That's probably the most significant thing at that time.
Yeah, of course. What was your 18th celebration like?
When I turned 18?
Yeah.
I was actually, I just come back from the US, and I've always really wanted to go to Hawaii. Hawaii's always somewhere that I wanted to go. So for my 18th birthday, I was really fortunate that my whole family were able to organize a trip to Hawaii. And I got to spend it in Hawaii, which was really beautiful. It was really beautiful.
So you didn't have a big party at home or anything?
No,
like
I did.
that?
I came home and I had a camping trip, you know, with some of my friends and like down near Byron Bay. But that was really it. I didn't really want to throw a big party. I think my mother would have killed me if I threw a house party at her house. That would not have been good.
Yeah, I mean, I'd way rather go to Hawaii than throw a house party with like half the people I actually don't really know.
Yeah.
Like, hello,
Yeah,
that'd be so
exactly.
much better. What age were you when you started to get into like proper acting?
I started getting into proper acting, I think, when I was about your age, 12 or 13. Like, COVID had just hit. I'd done a lot of commercial work when I was younger, but I remember, like, you know, we all had so much spare time on our hands, and I really wanted to start investing it into acting and seeing what could come of it. And I think I trained solidly for about a year, and then right at the back end of that year, I got the audition for Elvis, and you know, a couple like a month or two later, I was on set with Baz, and that was kind of that was it, you know. Yeah.
What did your training look like?
My training?
Yeah,
Well, for that year, I had only just been getting into it, so it was kind of once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks. I had an acting coach that I'd work one-on-one with, and I'd get a script and go to his house. We'd work on it, we'd train it, just kind of try and develop my skill and my craft and all those kinds of things. But since then, and since especially doing Elvis, there's a lot more work that not only just goes into the craft and training. I still train all the time up to this day. I train twice a week, but there's also a lot of work that goes into mentally. It can be a very challenging industry. So a lot of work on at least your mindset and your energy, and be able to hold yourself in particular social environments and interviews and things like that. So I remember after Elvis, a lot more of the training kind of went into that as well. But yeah.
Are you a shy person or a confident person?
It's really difficult being a shy person if you're an actor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think I really started off, and when I was younger, I mean, anyone can vouch if they met me at that age, I was really quite shy. I was a very shy, quiet kind of kid. I'd get really nervous in social settings. So it took a lot of work for me to be able to hold my own in social environments. But yeah, the truth is you can't really be a shy person if you want to be an actor. You have to know how to hold your own. So that takes, you know, training as well, 100%.
For your audition for Elvis, what type of audition was it? Was it like self-tape or in person?
It was self-tape because it was the peak of COVID. Everything is self-taping. Even to this day, everything is self-taping. I have barely done any auditions in person. Everything's self-taping. But the process is that I self-taped, and then a couple weeks later, I was invited to be on set so that I could do the workshop with him, which was kind of the callback process. So it was me and three other young boys in the room that were all trying to go for the role. And then after that is kind of when it got a little bit narrowed down, and eventually he gave me the call and offered me the part.
It was Baz himself?
Yeah, it was Baz himself. Yeah.
How'd that go? What did he say?
I was actually playing tennis because I used to play tennis at the time. And I was on court, and my mum there was watching me, and she's waving her hand. She's rushing me off the court. She's like, quick. So I walk off court. I'm like, what is going on, right? She hands over the phone, and it's Baz Luhrmann. He's like, hey, it's Baz. You know, I've really enjoyed seeing your work and working with you through this process. I'd love to offer you the role of Elvis. It was just one of the most surreal kind of moments ever. To have that experience where a director calls you directly is very sincere. It's not common at all. So
Especially if it's Baz.
yeah, exactly. So that's something that I'll definitely always
Normally it's like the casting agent or your agent.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's always your agent, you know. So that was something that was very special that always stuck with me. Yeah.
Do you prefer self-tapes or like in person?
That's a really good question, because I think there's a really big difference to both, and they both have their pros and cons. In person, it's a lot easier for the casting director to get a kind of feel of you as a person and how you take direction, because you go in the room, they meet you, they get a sense for you if they like you or not. There's a lot more that they can pick up on, right? So if you feel more confident in that space, it's so much better. Whereas in self-taping, you could do it 100 times. The casting director will never know, how many times you really did it, or how difficult it was for you to get to what you sent in and what you ended up being able to perform. But as the actor, that also can become a bonus as well. If you're someone that just, it takes a little bit longer to warm up, if you need a couple more takes to kind of get into it, you have as much space or time or control as you want over the situation. So it depends what you favor, but I personally like in the room more, I think. 100%.
Yeah. I miss that for Millie because she hasn't had any in-person ones yet.
Yeah.
With her acting career, we've done all self-tapes and we fight.
It's so annoying.
We fight, and so I'm like, I hate self-tapes.
You don't understand. I've got like hundreds of videos of like milliseconds of me like starting to do an audition, and then mum goes, no, start again. It just wasn't good. Just like so many of them. And I can't.
I think if I did my self-tapings with my mother, I would also die. I'd be dying.
You did them with someone else.
I do them with my professional acting coach.
Okay. Note taken, Millie.
Gosh. We watched a bit of Elvis last night, and your role is like, what did you expect when you got the role? Did you know exactly like what you had to do? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
I do. I get what you're saying. I was very fortunate, and I'll always talk about how significant that experience was in my life, because I was so fortunate that over about the period of a month, maybe one day a week, I would go onto set and Baz would rehearse the process with me for multiple hours, whatever it was. We'd go through the movements of the scene. He'd make me feel really comfortable, meet the people that I was working with, ask me my opinions on things. Sometimes he would get a camera and we would go outside the backlot of the studios, of the actual soundstage studios, and onto the grass, and he would just take a camera with him and he'd be like, go play with some of the boys, that I had on set. And so that kind of process was so significant for me, because once we really started shooting, I don't remember being nervous at all. I was never nervous. I felt so safe and comfortable, and to feel like that on set at any age, no matter how old you are, it's a real blessing that you don't get from every director. So I'll always remember that.
What was it like seeing the set, like how they had to recreate like the set from Memphis and everything? Like I've been like when I was young in the Memphis street, like where
in Beale Street.
Beale Street, you've been there in person?
Yeah, exactly. And Mum said it looks the exact same. What was it like seeing that?
I didn't get to see the Beale Street set that they redid. I only really got to see the set that I was a part of.
Yeah.
The shanty town.
Yeah. The shack. But still, even experiencing that, it was so surreal. Like, it's why I fell in love with acting, because I get onto set. It's a massive soundstage studio, the biggest one in the Southern Hemisphere. That's the one that we were shooting in. Huge. And I get in this massive tent, like he's built it inside the studio, and there's hundreds of people that are all there for your scene. They're all there to give 100% of themselves, and all the crew members are there to give 100% of themselves, and everyone is putting everything in just for your moment on screen. And I thought it was so surreal. And then it was electrical when we started shooting, and you have that kind of energy and atmosphere. There's nothing like it. It is electrical. Yeah.
So cool. What is it like being on set with Baz Luhrmann, like, well, Tom Hanks, Austin Butler? Like, obviously, my perspective, it would seem so fun, but you know, was it more nervous, or were they not like how you seem they are, or were they just perfect?
No, they're 100% how they seem they are. I mean, I only got to meet Tom Hanks when I was at the red carpet.
Yeah.
Because by the time I got on set, he had already left. But I remember meeting Austin, and obviously I worked very closely with Baz. Baz is, you know, if you want to hear me talk about them individually, Baz is a creative genius. He is, and the worlds that he create, you can see it in his eyes when he's talking to you. He'll pause and he'll kind of look somewhere for a moment, and then he'll come back to you with this really fascinating idea. And I remember that process, and seeing the kind of vision that he had in his eyes was just breathtaking to watch. And Austin is probably one of the most genuinely lovely people I've ever met. Because when I met him, he didn't have to come say hi to me. He didn't have to come talk to me. He's working 14-hour days. He's got people, everyone asking for him and wanting him. You got to be here. You got to be here. Make up now. And he's exerting so much energy being the lead of that set. He didn't have to come up and talk to me. But as soon as he spotted me, he came up and directly towards me and came in and gave 5 minutes of his time to spend with me, talking to me, getting to know me, making me feel comfortable and seen and heard.
Yeah.
And that was a really beautiful experience for me.
I got to interview him on the red carpet.
Yeah.
For the red carpet premiere.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love.
Right?
Like, he really looks you in the eye,
Yes,
and
yes.
he's so kind,
Yes.
and he's touchy-feely, and like, you know, thank you for the interview. And I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, it's like, you know, he really gives you himself. He looks at you and he really goes,
He's
you
got
can see
it.
it. He's like, I'm here with you. I'm here for you. You know, let's talk. I want to hear you.
How many TV shows or like movies have you done?
Since?
Yeah. Or just just like in general, like before that, or
Do you remember your first commercial? Like, will that come back to haunt you when you're famous?
It's bound to. I done a fair few commercials, I think, before landing Elvis. Something's bound to come back to me eventually one day. But yeah, I did a lot of commercials beforehand, and then I landed Elvis. And since I've mostly, everything that I've done so far in my career has been working in Australia. But what I'm really excited about now, being at 18, is the next step for me, working towards working internationally and being on a set internationally. That's kind of the next step that I want to take, because I think that's something really exciting to do when you're 18, to kind of not only travel and get into an international space, but to be doing what you love while you're at it. I'm really excited for that experience to
Are you
come.
doing auditions internationally already?
Oh yeah. It's this year's been a roller coaster. It's been absolutely chaos, which I love, and I love doing. I just got back from the US, and I'm very fortunate that I have a really lovely manager over there who helped me along the way, but got to meet some really lovely people and have really, really great chats with a couple of people over there that I'm really excited to hopefully get to work with soon. So,
As in management, or in shows or movies?
in shows and movies, yeah.
Oh, it sounds like you've got stuff that you can't tell us.
Yeah.
what did you learn from being on set with the big actors? Like something that you learned that
Yeah.
you'll carry through your whole career.
For me, what I learned was the responsibility on your shoulders when you're the lead, because everyone on that set, which is hundreds of people, are all relying on you to bring a sort of energy to the set, and how you interact with the people that you're working with changes the whole atmosphere of the set. And I think the reason that I loved my experience so much on Elvis was purely because of the energy that Baz and Austin brought to it. That generosity, that time, the tenderness, the love. You could feel it You know, I think when you were on set, you could definitely feel it. So that's something that I'll always remember as a really good piece of advice for me, that the responsibility on me when I'm in that kind of position, or anyone that's in that kind of position, to when you interact with other people on set and what you provide for them. Yeah.
So no matter how famous, stay humble.
Stay humble. Always stay humble. And yeah, definitely love the people that you work with, and they'll love working with you.
How many like takes for your,
Yeah.
I guess, bit of the movie to be perfect?
Oh my God. We shot over 8 hours on that first day doing the tent scene on the interior.
Yeah.
So how many takes in about 8 hours? I have no idea.
Wow.
But it was definitely a lot.
8 hours just on the first day.
Yeah.
How many days were there? Or,
I
like,
think
weeks?
shooting we did, I think we only shot for about 4 days total.
It's amazing, isn't it? 4 days
Yeah.
for what is 2 minutes of the movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's insane. And then, 8 hours just for that interior scene, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Do you still keep in contact with like Baz Luhrmann?
Not since I haven't been in contact with him, but I'll always say that when he called up my mum, my mum saved his contact in her phone so that she could be like, look, Baz Luhrmann, I have his number.
So like there's a possibility that we might be able to get him on this podcast.
Yeah, I'll give him a call straight away.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
be like,
that sounds like a
Baz,
really
this is
good
a
idea.
really good podcast. You need to hop on.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds great. Thank you very much. You and your sister and your brother all act. Where did you get the inspiration from to act?
Well, my whole family's just started acting just purely because we took some family photos. And my mother, the photographer said to my mother, hey, your family looks really photogenic. Why don't you try getting with a modeling agency? My mom was like, sure, why not? A bit of extra pocket money for the kids. And funnily enough, she thought that she got us with a modeling agency when she went for an agent, but it ended up being an acting agency instead, acting and modeling, which she didn't realize at all at the time. So all of us being in the acting world now is kind of starts from pure coincidence and luck, which I feel like happens really often.
So you didn't have parents that acted?
No.
Oh, wow.
Both flight attendants, if anything.
Really?
Yeah.
So cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah. What's the stupidest thing you and your siblings have like fought or like fight over?
I wouldn't even be able to tell you the stupidest thing that we fight over. But
What type
it
of
could
family
be
are
anything.
you? Like, are you a get along family or a jokey family, or?
I think we're a bit of a noisy kind of family. I mean, our household. I just had the household to myself and my dad over the past week. The rest of my family took a trip away, and I almost couldn't recognize my own house. It was that blissful. And then as soon as my whole family come back, it's like an explosion constantly going on inside the house. So
Yeah.
I think,
that could be you soon. You're an adult. You might move out soon.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, 18 now.
Do you reckon you prefer the like noisier side of life or more quiet?
I think a bit of both. I think a bit of balance is really good. Like I really love the outdoors and kind of, I love going on hikes and walks and everything and experiencing that kind of serenity. I love doing that. But at the same time, going over to LA and being in that kind of environment where it's just go, go, go. And there's such energy to being there. I love that. And I think I like a bit of both, a bit of balance,
Yeah. What's it like all the viewed and like the after parties and the after parties,
Really exciting.
Yeah.
And then you feel it once you get home, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely what it's like. But it's a muscle, and I think you train for it, and I think the more that you do it, the more that your body is used to kind of exerting that energy and being in that environment. But I'm still very young, so I haven't exactly.
What do all your friends think about this life that you lead?
Oh,
Or are your friends in the industry now?
No. I have one really good friend who is an actor who is in the industry. His name's Chaden Price. His series Nautilus just came out in the US.
Yeah.
So go check that out. I think it's on Stan. Anyway, but I think the rest of my friends, we have a very tight group, and we've been a very close group for a while now. But they're used to it.
You're now a young ambassador for the Children's Hospital Foundation. How did you get invested and involved in that foundation?
Yeah, well, the Children's Hospital Foundation reached out to me. They contacted me. They said, hey, listen, we'd love to have you on board. We've got a kind of team of kids that we're putting together. And I didn't hesitate to jump on board. There's something that I definitely really wanted to be able to do and to be able to be a part of. And while there's not, there's not much that you can do really. It is really difficult what these kids are experiencing, but to help in kind of any way, shape or form, whether it is through donations of research or even just being there for them, helps so much for them going through what they're experiencing. So in any kind of way to help, it's been great.
Has there been anyone that you've met throughout the Children's Hospital Foundation or some moment that has really stuck with you throughout this process?
Yeah, well, I first met, when I first jumped on board, I was invited to the hospital. And I met this young boy who, his name was Austin, funnily enough. And his whole family, he has a younger sister who's constantly in and out of the children's hospital, which has been a really daunting experience for the rest of his family. And I think that's something that people don't take into account sometimes, is how the experience of the child in the hospital affects the rest of the family. And for Austin, and I think as well, talking to him, that's been a very, very difficult experience, I think. When you're a young boy and your parents are constantly having to be in the hospital with your younger sister, they're constantly having to be there to provide for her and be there with her. And for the parents to juggle both of them as well, it's such a, it can happen to anyone to just get thrown into that world. None of them ever expected it, and now it's their life.
Whole life.
And so to have that conversation with Austin and talk to him about that was really moving for me, because he's only, I think he's your age, close to your age. He's 12, around that age, but he really wants to be an actor. He really loves acting. And so to talk with him and hear him and his passions and his dreams and his hopes, I think was something that really moved me about just what it means to help this foundation, not just for the sick children, but for the so many more lives that are affected by it. Yeah.
And what can we do to help?
Well, there's lots of definitely donations and fundraisers that go on with the Children's Hospital Foundation. I did a collaboration with a girl named Soraya, who just did some fundraising for therapeutic bears. So a lot of the time, and she's donating those to the Children's Hospital, but a lot of the time the Children's Hospital will run events or donations, something like that. So keeping up to date with those, seeing what's going on there, what they're kind of running. I know tomorrow they're actually doing a 50th year anniversary for the Children's Hospital, which I'm sure they'll do some media coverage there or something. Anything like that, even to bring awareness to what the Children's Hospital does, makes a really big impact on it.
That's so cool. Do you go to the hospital quite often?
Not too often.
Yeah.
Only because it's all the way in Brisbane, but I definitely try to do as much as what I can. My role really specifically is more just bringing awareness to it, talking about it, here, or being there at events, and to be there to represent the Children's Hospital. That's kind of what I try to do.
And there's some cool ambassadors alongside you as well, isn't
there? Yeah, really cool. So I got to meet all of them when I was up in Brisbane, and they're all great people, and they're all doing their own sorts of things as well, media coverage and fundraisers and all sorts of things. So it's really cool.
Does school get in the way of your acting, or does acting get in the way of school?
It's a really difficult thing at a young age to be balancing school and acting. Yes. So for me, I know that I do school at home now, just because it's so much more flexible. So I can go to LA and I can come back, and it won't really affect anything like that. But at the same time, it's hard to balance acting with anything. I mean, there are people who are much older than me who have families who are trying to balance, earning an income and earning a living to provide for their family while still trying to achieve their own hopes and dreams. So I think at any age, acting can be a really difficult thing to try and get into.
When did you stop going to school and do homeschooling?
Pretty much when Elvis came out.
Yeah.
Because that was chaotic. Because I just remember when Elvis came out, I went over to the US. I did media over there. I came back to Australia, and it was interviews, it was meetings, it was all kinds of things. And my attendance rate was horrific. It was bad. But luckily enough, the school was really supportive, and they were like, "Hey, look, we know the degree of what you're doing is really important to you, so we'll support you as much as what we can, but you need to look at other options further. They were really great and supportive. So yeah.
And what are you working on now? Like, you tell us about A Beautiful World, and there's a couple of other things coming out soon too, isn't there?
Yeah. So A Beautiful World kind of was a film that I did, I think 2 years ago now, and came out last year and had its bit of a run. But up and coming, I've got a film that I did called Two Ugly People, a feature film with Michael Sheasby, who is an amazing actor. Was nominated at the Actor Awards for Best Supporting, and I did all my scenes with him. To have that experience is so cool because he's really just a talent, like a real talent. So it was so great getting to work with him. And then I have a film with my brother and my sister coming out soon called Chromatic, which will be coming out sometime soon. Yeah, which I'm really looking forward to.
That's pretty cool to have a film where you're all cast.
Yeah. It was definitely a really unique experience having that because we all played siblings in the movie as well. So it made it kind of easy. Yeah.
Do you ever get many calls since you're all siblings for other films? Like, that would be like a dream come true.
To work together.
Because then if you've got, movies in Hollywood and you're all actors and then you all look the same, so they don't have to try and cast people, say brown heads, brown eyes, da da da.
I definitely, I think so. I'd be like, I could imagine myself being over there being like, hey, look, my brother, he's not doing anything right now. He's giving me phone calls, can you get over there? To work together with my siblings would be cool in the future. Yeah.
Be like the Hemsworths.
Yeah, well, have they worked together much?
They haven't, but they should.
Have you ever had any crushes on set?
Any crushes on set?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's okay.
Just professional business. Get to work. Get your head out of the clouds. Yeah.
Yeah. That's our answer, guys. Hey.
She had to ask for the girlies.
Yep. How would you compare formal to like a red carpet?
Did you get to have a formal if you weren't at school?
I'm still in school.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't technically had my
true.
formal yet. I don't know what that experience is like, to be honest with you. But I couldn't imagine.
Are you going to have a formal if you're homeschooled?
I mean, I could.
Yourself? Or is there like...
roll out the carpet on my driveway.
And turn up in a fancy car and mum's cooked your dinner.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Mom. No, luckily I do my homeschooling through a school here on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
So technically I think I could. I don't know whether I would even be here or not for it. So look, I have no idea.
Oh, that's really hard. You don't get to, girls love formals more than guys. I think
so, yeah.
Girls get excited about what they're going to wear and all that kind of stuff.
I kind of guess that like red carpets would be like very similar to formal.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you can say like, missing out on formal could be something that people wouldn't really want to do. I think the experiences that I've had are experiences that people haven't had, don't get to experience every day. So I think I'm just grateful for what I have had. Yeah.
Have you been asked to a formal to be a date with someone?
No, not from any memory. No.
Girls. What's going on here?
What advice would you give to people who want to act or want to start acting but don't know where to start? What advice would you give?
I think it's all about you got to have your heart in it, and you got to have a real passion and obsession for it. So I think for any actor that's starting off or that's thinking of getting into it, I think you really got to ask yourself when you're starting to work on scripts and anything like that, is this something that you really want to do? Is this something that you couldn't live without? Because it's a really difficult industry. You experience a lot of rejection. You experience a lot of judgment. You have to be really brave. And I know that no one experiences success by luck. They all go through that process. And all of them get through it because they love it and they couldn't live without it. So I think you got to have that passion. You got to have that heart in it. And that'll kind of, if that's there, that'll always take you through the journey no matter what.
Do you ever get a role offered or get an audition offer and think, I guess I'm asking this on behalf of Millie because she was asked to audition for something the other day and she said, I don't even know why we're going to do a tape. I don't think I'll even get it.
Yeah.
Is that the wrong attitude and you just have to go for everything? Or can you sometimes look at something and go, I think this is they're just token asking me this?
Yeah. I think it's completely reasonable to sometimes look at something and be like, this is ridiculous. That happens with every actor. But in saying that, I've never turned down an opportunity to
Really?
put myself in front of camera, no matter what it is, because, and I've talked to casting directors about this before, if you get the audition, that means that the casting director has seen you, has seen your profile, and they want to see you put down a tape.
Okay.
So even if it's something that you don't feel like is right for you, they want to see you do it. And you're putting, not only are you giving yourself an opportunity by putting yourself in front of them, by putting yourself in front of the casting director, but even if that role isn't right for you, you could do it to what feels right for you and be like, look, thank you for this opportunity, but this is kind of more what I'm like. And then that's information for them. That's like, oh, okay, I see now. This is more what you are. And that keeps you in mind for them. So it's all about in the investment into this kind of industry.
How do you feel knowing that you look like young Elvis?
Young Austin Butler.
Yeah, I was going to say Elvis.
I mean, grateful,
Yep.
because if I didn't, I wouldn't have had that opportunity or that experience. So yeah, I'm very grateful for it, but it's been pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you learn much about Elvis, like actual Elvis, before
Yeah.
the role? Did you know who he was?
Before doing the role, I didn't know much about Elvis at all. Only kind of what your grandparents tell you kind of thing. So that's all that I really knew about it. I remember definitely after getting the role, I wanted to do as much kind of research as I could. So I tried to do as much as what I could, but I definitely learnt the most about Elvis from what Baz shared with me and what he told me about from my set experiences. And then afterwards, going over to the US, I went to his house in Graceland, and having all those kinds of experiences is what actually taught me the most about Elvis.
Elvis died a year after I was born.
Wow.
And I loved him, I guess, because of like the old movies used to show I grew up in a country town, and the old movies used to be on a Sunday afternoon, and we only had like 2 channels on our television, so we'd watch them, right?
Yeah.
So I was not the person and not the era that should like Elvis, but I did, and I loved him, and I had posters of him on my walls and everything when everyone had, take that. But I took Millie to Memphis and went to Graceland, and I cried. I was so happy to be there.
If you could go back and talk to your 12-year-old self, what would you tell him?
I think the experiences that are to come in the next couple of years, pivotal in probably shaping the rest of your life, in the person that you become. I think for anyone 12 to 18 or that kind of age, is the first time that you really go on a journey of understanding yourself or trying to figure yourself out. And I think that definitely shapes the kind of person that you become, the decisions that you make during that time for a majority of the rest of your life. So I think it's a very pivotal time for anyone. And just, stay open and be excited.
Now we've got a bit of a game of this or that. So would you prefer being a teen or being an adult?
Well, so far my experiences of being an adult have been good. So I'll say adult, but I know eventually it gets difficult. You'd probably say being a teen. You'd probably say being an adult. So, yeah.
Yeah. Would you rather spend a night at home or be on a red carpet?
Probably be on a red carpet.
Good. I was actually
love
scared for
the
a
energy of an environment like that.
It's so fun. I actually love the adrenaline of everything. Just like people coming out like from everywhere. Just like and like being stuck in the middle of it. I'm like, I can get used to this.
Yeah, you need a moment on a red carpet, don't you? Just to yourself and just look around and go, look at all the famous people and look at all the lights and this is lots of fun. Yeah.
Soon,
otherwise you miss the moment. It goes so fast.
Soon you are going to be the famous person that everyone's like, oh my God, Chaden. Singing in the shower or singing on set?
In the shower? You mean singing on set? That's like singing by yourself or watching 100 people sing. Or 100 people watch you sing. Sorry, might I say.
Do you sing?
No. If a casting director or director asks me if I can sing, yes. Yes, I can. But otherwise, no.
It's fair. That's very valid. Would you rather be in a movie with Ryan Gosling or Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Gosling.
Why?
He's one of my favorite actors of all time. And I like his older stuff like Drive and... Well, not Blade Runner's more recent, but he has some really great movies that he did when he was younger. And his performance and his acting is absolutely incredible. And now today, he's hilarious. He's one of the most kind of charismatic people today on screen. And I think he would be super fun to work with and also a great talent to work with. So I would pick Ryan Gosling every day of the week. Yeah.
We're asking the two Ryans, but is there somebody else? What other actors have you got? Do you have like a vision board, or are you trying to manifest something?
I love like, I think working with someone like Denzel Washington, you would be an experience that would last you the rest of your life, because he has the most knowledge and wisdom of, I think, anyone in this industry. But also, like, Brad Pitt's my favorite actor in the world. I think working with him, there'd be nothing like it. I think he'd bring such an energy and such a playfulness to the scene. Anyone like that. I love like Leonardo DiCaprio. I would work with him any day of the week. Like, you know, any of those for sure.
All good actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to work with Leonardo DiCaprio, but when he was like young in like the 2000s. There's for obvious reasons, but like, yeah, you know. And would you rather watching a movie or watching a TV series?
Watching a movie.
Yeah.
I've always been a movie, but I think it's really individual for everyone, but I've always been a movie person.
And what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is Fight Club, but it's because Brad Pitt's performance in that movie, I'd never seen anything like it before, and it was so exhilarating to watch. The plot twist was insane, and I think it's just the fact that it was the first time I'd ever experienced a film like that. That's what stuck with me more than anything else.
Haven't heard of that.
And what's the last movie you watched?
Sinners, actually, which is the one with Michael B. Jordan where he plays twins.
I don't know any of these movies you're talking about.
Sinners, everyone needs to watch Sinners.
Okay.
It's incredible, incredible film.
All right, haven't seen it. Is it on Netflix?
No, it just came off the cinema, but it'll be on something soon for sure.
right,
Everyone
we'll
has to
look out
watch
for
it.
it.
It's incredible. Best movie I've seen this year.
We'll go and watch it just for
Yeah.
you.
Wow. Now, to finish this off, we
Okay.
would like to ask you to grab a fortune cookie out of this jar
Okay.
And read your
and
fortune
then read your
out.
fortune.
Have you guys set these up, or I feel really scared?
We've not set them up.
We haven't set them
Yeah,
up.
they all say the same thing.
They do not.
True friendship consists not in the multitude of friends, but in their worth and value. I think that is pretty good.
I
pretty
mean,
good
I guess
advice.
so. Like, I mean, working with Baz and everything.
Yeah.
I-
That basically means that your mum is going to message Baz and tell him to be on this podcast.
That's exactly what
That
that's
is
saying.
true
That's exactly
friendship.
what that's saying.
That's friendship for life. Right
But I think
there.
being on set, I think that's very true. It's
You-
really important the people that you work with make the experience of the set and of your relationship with acting just because of how much enjoyment you have working with them.
See,
So-
you can make that fortune
I can
cookie
make
pick
anything
anything.
work.
You actually can.
Well, Chaden, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. We really believe in you, and one day we're going to be able to say Chaden Jay sat right here in our podcast studio talking to us. So we really wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It was great talking to you guys and good seeing you again.
Yeah, it's nice to have you in a quieter environment.
Yeah.
I know, where I can hear you guys properly. I'm not
Yeah.
leaning in with my ear.
Or getting photos.
You know, yeah, I know.
Yeah. No, we can't wait to see what you do next. So thank
Yeah.
you so much. Now you can follow Chaden on his socials. He's Chaden Jay with just the letter J, and you can find out more about his work with the Children's Hospital Foundation. And you can also go and follow the Children's Hospital Foundation. They're at children'sorg.au, and all the links we're going to put in our show notes for you. Thank you so much for listening all the way to the end of our podcast. If you like this podcast, please send it to other people, and more importantly, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with your friends, and tell them that there is a podcast that's being made just for them. See you next week.
Bye.
Move over, Mama! With Emily Jade and Millie Valentine. My name is Teddy James. Thanks for listening. See you next week.